Speaking is the best way to learn a language. You have to memorize irregular verbs. These are all things that you hear many times, right? And here I have the answers here. And I'll explain where it comes from. So first, speaking is the best way to learn a language is not true if you explain it in the following way. And that is that, technically speaking, according to the biggest theory in language learning, you cannot learn anything from speaking itself. Because when you say things, it means you've already heard them or seen them before, right? How are you going to use a word for the first time? And if you do, nobody will understand you. So you cannot learn technically anything from speaking, but you practice the things that you've seen when you were reading and when you were listening. So there are some people that don't agree with that, right? We'll come to that later. But this basic idea that you have to see and hear words before you can use them is in general very true, right? Second thing, you have to memorize irregular verbs. You don't have to do anything, okay? And memorization is a very ineffective technique. There's many ways to learn irregular verbs, and you don't have to memorize them. Third one, children are really good at learning languages, especially babies. This is something that you hear very often, usually also as an excuse, right? Usually old people say this, saying, I'm bad with languages, but my son already speaks perfect Dutch. Only after 1 year. Well, it's true, but not because he is especially good with languages and you are not. Children have a lot more input, right? Especially babies. They are just lying around all day, pooping and eating, and they're hearing the adults speak in Dutch. And that's why they learn. But then it takes them almost 2 years to say one word, right? Babies are really bad at learning languages, people. We can already say one word after we hear it. First day you learn a new language, you can already say the first word. So why are children good is because they usually spend more time. Of course, there are some other ideas. Their brains are more flexible. They can perfectly imitate the accent. That's true. But adults are also very good at learning languages, okay? Then the second 4, I'll quickly summarize. So you can learn a language in 10 minutes a day, theoretically. Right? So if you take the total time you need, you divide it in 10 minutes a day, it's possible, but it will take you 30, 40 years to learn Dutch. And why would you do that, right? So it's possible, but it doesn't make sense. Then this one, children books are a great tool. True, anything you can read is great, especially if you like it, but not because they are easy to read, because children books are often mistaken to be easy, to be like A1 level, A2 level. But they are really not. Children books are usually B1, right? Like The Little Prince is even more, maybe. So please, if you're at the beginner level and you want to find the right resource, we'll talk about that later. Don't use children books yet. Use that when you're B1, right? Then this one, you can get to a B2 level of Dutch from only watching videos. Definitely true. I'll show you one study that summarizes it greatly later. And last one, grammar is necessary to learn Dutch. In general, there are many examples of people that learn very, very good Dutch without grammar. So it's not always necessary. Only for some people it is necessary. And then for which people is a very difficult question. And then what kind of grammar you exactly need, there's lots of research about that. What in general is true is that grammar is not necessary for everyone. But for everyone, it will at least help. I hope in the first 7 minutes, I helped you to think about these things a little bit. Now, who am I? This is me. I'm Max Koedood. I'm a Dutch teacher. I'm an English teacher with the TEFL. I studied philosophy and in English and Dutch. I'm a language learner because it's my hobby. And I'm a writer of this book, Nieuw in Rotterdam. And this is a Dutch novel for beginners, in which I try to use this research that I'll be talking about today. And I speak, or I learn, I should say, these languages. So English and Dutch on a C level, Spanish on C level, German B2, French B1, and I'm now focusing these years on Persian. And it's a very slow process. And today I would like to look at these questions. But first, I would like to know, who are you? Could you please write where you're from in the chat? Just quickly.
Nice. Here comes the chat explosion. Let's go.
Let's go. Scotland, France, Norway, Colombia, United Kingdom, Mexico, Macedonia, Amsterdam, Kosovo, China. Wow. Glasgow, Santo Domingo, Uruguay, Duitsland. Okay, great. Thank you. And could you also write down the level that you are currently at in Dutch? So A1, A0, A2, B1, more or less. Just so we know, B1, A0. More or less is also fine. A or B is a big difference. You should know that, right? A, B, C, somewhere. Okay. Is there C1 people also? C1 people? A0, A1. Okay, so we have a lot of A people, a few B people, and some natives, I think. Nice. Okay, welcome everyone. So I hope you I help you today. I tried to put everything I know into 1 hour, but I realized it was impossible. So I made some choices on the basis of what I think is the most practical for you, okay? We're going to look at these answers. So how long does it take to learn Dutch? Is it difficult? How to learn it, like what to actually do to learn it according to science? The biggest mistakes people make, how to find resources to start doing it from now on, and what to do with that on a day-to-day basis in your life.